Hello guys, welcome back to Surya Zone. So today we are at day 8 of our 50-day SQL challenge, and then the problem name is 15H1, customer who visited but did not make any transactions. Okay, and here we have two tables. One is visits table, which have an attribute like visit ID and customer ID, and here they have mentioned the details about the table. Like visit ID is the column with unique values for this table. This table contains information about the customers who visited the mall. Okay, and then the next thing is we have a transaction table. We have an attributes like transaction ID, visit ID, and amount. And in this table, transaction ID is the unique value for this particular table, and this table contains the information about the transaction that were made by the customers using the visit ID that they have in the visits table. Okay, so now let's dive into the problem statement. So if you see the problem statement here they are mentioning that write a solution to find the IDs of the users who visited without making any transactions and the number of times they made these type of visits. So what they are asking is, like, there are some users, like let me show you the sample data. There are customers and visitors, and they, for every visit they have a visit ID. Let's say I will show that in Excel. I just taken this data into an Excel. So for your a more clear, crisp understanding. Okay. So and they are asking us to return the result in any order. So we don't want to use any order by class to return an output in a specific order. Okay, now let's see the example first. So here if you see we have a visits table with visit ID and customer ID, and then here we have a transaction table with transaction ID, which is a unique value, and visit ID, which is the kind of foreign key to join with our visits table. Okay, and then we do have an amount as well. So let's say this visits let's take this visit table as our base table. Okay, so here if you see the customer ID 23 who visited one time, because I don't see 23 any other in this particular table, and who visited one time, and that one was present in my transaction table, which means customer ID 23 had visited and also he had done the transaction, and then that particular transaction ID is 13 and he made the transaction of amount 970. Similarly, when it comes to customer 9, the visit ID is 2, which is present here. Okay, which means customer ID 9 also made the transactions. So these two guys will not come in our output. I'll just highlight this. Yeah, so these two guys will not come in our output. And then similarly, in the next thing we can see is 30, customer ID 30, who visited the mall but didn't made any transactions, because here we are not able to see any visit IDs with 4. So this will come in the output. I'll make it a green. And then the next thing is customer 54, who visited the mall first time, and during the first time he had done 3 purchases. Okay, he had done 3 purchases, or he had done 3 transactions. So this particular thing also will not come in the output. Okay, because he had already done 3 transactions. Okay, our problem statement is to return the customers who had visited the malls and number of times he visited, and he or she doesn't done any kind of transactions. Okay, and if you see this particular guy 96 who had visited the mall but he has not done any transactions, so this is not available into the table. So this will come in the output. Okay. And then similarly, the next thing is the guy 54 who visited the mall again tomorrow and day after tomorrow. Let's say the visit is 7 and then the visit ID is 8. Those two are also not present in the final transaction table. So these two things also will come in the output. So now what the problem statement is, if you see the problem statement now, write a solution to find the IDs of users who visited without making any transactions, which means these are the users who has not done any transactions. Okay, so this will be our customer ID, this the guys who has not done any transaction, but this guy 54 has done the transaction, but that is of some other day. Okay, so that it's not like the 54 had done a single transaction, so it should not come in the output. In the question or in the problem statement, we don't have any such criteria test cases like that. Okay, and then they are asking like, and the number of times they made these type of visits. Okay, so if you see 30, he visited only one time and he didn't made any transactions. Okay, this is, let's say, number of transactions. And then the next thing is 96. This guy also visited one time so it will be 1. But if you see the 54th guy, he visited 2 times, but he didn't made any transaction from the second time. Only for the very first time he had done the transaction, and for the next 2 times he has not done any transactions. So for 54 the number of transaction will be 2, and then this will never come in the output. Okay, let me highlight this and remove the colors. Okay, this is what our expected output is. I hope you guys are clear with this requirement and how the table is working. So if you are a beginner or if you want to understand more about the data, try to use the Excel, which will help us more in terms of understanding the data much better, even in the real time scenario itself. Okay, now let's solve into the problem statement. Okay, so here, so here I am considering the visits table as by base table because I need the customer ID from there, which we can take it, and then I am doing a left join here. I'll let you know why I am doing a left join here as well. And if you want to know what exactly and how the left join is working, please go and watch my previous videos of this 50-day SQL challenge. You people will get it. Okay, and then we are aliasing the table name here from visits v transactions t on v dot visit id equal to t dot visit id. Okay, and then next thing is what we need is we want only the customers who visited without making any transaction, which means these two should not match, right? So these two things, if it is matching, means like let's say if the visit id is between my visit and transaction table are matching, means then that particular guy had visited the mall and done the transaction as well, right? That is how the data defines us. Okay, and that is how the problems also defines us. So what you can do is either you can use left anti-join here, or I'll cover lefty anti-join in a separate video, or what we can do is we can add one more thing known as, here we cannot use left anti-join, sorry for the mistake. So here I am using a where condition and I am using t dot visit id is not null. Okay, sorry, is null. T dot visit id is null, which means that the transactions which are available in my left table, but it is not available in the right table. So for those things, we will get the transaction. Suppose here if I pull, like let's say v dot visit id and then t dot visit id. If we run this, it will give us, okay, you will understood now. Let me run this. And if you see the output, we don't have all these values, like 4 is not present in my transaction table, 6 is not present in my transaction table, 7 and 8, nothing is present in my transaction table, right? So that's why to get the transactions, to get the details of the customers who didn't do any transactions, we are adding this filter. Okay, let's say now, but into the output, what the column we needed is, we needed the customer ID column. So v dot customer ID, and then the next thing is v dot visit id. Okay, now if I run this, we will get it. What the output is. So it will give us this output. It will give all the customers who didn't done any transactions. Okay, and also it will give the visits number of time he or she had done. Okay, so if you see the output here, see we have got 30 and the visit id is 4. So 30 visited one time, 96 visited one time, but 54 guy visited 2 times. So now it is a simple. What we can do is for each customer we can do a count of visit id as, and how they are renaming, how they are expecting the column name to be count of number of transactions. Okay, count number trans. Okay, and then we can group it based on customer ID, so that for each customer it will count the total number of visits they have done, but without any transactions, without particular transactions. Okay, I hope this query is clear to you guys. Let me run this piece of code. Yeah, if you see this, it has accepted our solution. This is our output. 30 visited one time, 54 visited 2 times, 96 visited one time, and it is same as the expected output. Okay, I hope you guys are clear on this video. If you have any doubts, please do let me know in the comment box. See you tomorrow, guys. If you like this video, please share and subscribe with your friends. It will motivate me to create more quality content. Cool. Thank you, guys. Bye bye.